So welcome to another video from HealthHireUK. Today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking through the step-by-step process of applying to jobs using Trac jobs. So we've had a lot of messages from a lot of candidates saying they're applying for jobs with Trac and they're struggling to sort of work out, how to make the application, and they're wanting a video basically of, this whole process from start to finish. So what we've done is I've done a whole recording today, and we're going to be going through step by step the whole process of applying for a job, from finding a job to making sure it's suitable to apply, to making the whole application and to submitting that application. So Trac jobs is not the official website for the NHS. Is not the official NHS jobs. However, the reason Trac jobs is used is because it's owned by a company called Civica, and Civica provides a lot of the onboarding software for a lot of the NHS jobs. So when you get a job, and if you're successful in getting that job, when all the checks are going through and they're doing all the employment checks, this company does all the checks. So why hospitals prefer to use Trac jobs sometimes compared to NHS jobs is because from the moment you apply to the job to the moment you start on your first day inside in the hospital, you're going to be on one system which is run by Civica. So they run a few different jobs boards. So what we're going to do is I've made an account, so it's Mr. Test Trac Jobs. It's a test account, but just to show you guys the process from start to finish. It's very easy. I think you just need a good walkthrough and then you can apply for as many jobs as you wish. So to start with, we're going to click search for jobs. And that brings us up to healthjobsuk.com. They also own the domain nhsjobs.com. You can go on any of these websites, it's absolutely fine. We're already logged in, so we're going to be searching for jobs now. So we're just going to go into nursing and midwifery. We can either search for a job if you've got a specific occupation in mind, or we can just do a general search, and this will just bring up all the vacancies that are currently on the website. So we can see we're going to click on a random job, and I'm going to show you what sort of things we need to look for before applying for a job. So this one, first of all, we're looking at the salary. So the salary is a band 6, and this equates to, in London, this position actually is a London job, of £40,000 a year to £48,000 a year. So just over £40,000 to £48,000 a year. It's closing on the 1st of April, so it's still open. It's the 20th of March when we've been recording this video. And this is obviously in London. It's in Croydon. This is the job. So before looking whether I'd apply for this job, if I was to look whether I'm going to apply for this job, I'd be looking at the criteria. So you need to make sure first of all, you're happy with the job, you're happy with the location, you're happy with the salary. After that, we need to look at the criteria. Do I meet the essential criteria? Have I got the registration they're asking for this job? Some jobs don't need registration, but this particular job does need registration. Have I got continuing professional development? Yes, I've done courses. Do I meet all these criteria? Do I understand what they're asking for here? Do I meet that? And have I got, communication skills, IT skills, for example? Have I got all these criteria? As long as you meet the criteria, you're going to have a good chance of getting this job. If you don't meet the criteria, you're not going to have a very good chance of getting the job, especially if you're not meeting the essential criteria. Next, a lot of people ask us, how do we know whether this job is going to accept people who don't have sponsorship at the moment and will need sponsorship? So it could be you're applying from another country, or you're already in the UK but you still require sponsorship because you're currently on a sponsorship visa. All you need to look further down. It says here, applicants from job seekers who require tier 2 sponsorship to work in the UK are welcome, and will be considered alongside all other applications. So that's all you need to know. As long as that message is there, if you don't have sponsorship, you're currently outside of the UK or you're already in the UK, you can apply for the job. However, it says here, if a suitably qualified candidate is available to take up the post in these circumstances, which is whether they're an EU or EEA candidate, which is European Economic Area, it means that the UK Immigration Department needs to so basically what this section is saying is, if you are applying from outside of the UK and no one else who is a qualified EEA or EU worker can fill the post, then the hospital can employ you and they can show to the immigration department no suitably qualified EU worker or UK, essentially a UK citizenship, a person with UK citizenship or a British resident or someone with the right to work in the UK cannot fill the post, and therefore we need to create a new visa, and they need to prove that. So essentially this means that when you're applying for these jobs, if you don't have citizenship, if you don't have the right to work in the UK, don't be put off, still apply. However, if a more suitably qualified UK or EU candidate can apply, then they may be more likely to get the job. But it does not mean you can't apply for the role, and don't be put off, because a lot of the time you will be the most qualified. You need to show that you're very well qualified, that you've got the skills, you've got the experience, and you've got the qualifications for the job. So I've seen the job advert, I'm happy with everything, I'm now going to apply. So I click the apply button, and that's the job. So we're going to start the application. So it first asks, are you currently an employee of our hospital? So of course I don't work at this hospital, so no, I'm not an employee of any other NHS organization, no. So now it tells you to put your immigration status into this section here. So there's a whole variety of options you can click. If you're already a British citizen in the UK, you obviously click that option. If you are an EU national, you can click this option. If you have the ILR in the UK, you can click this one. If you are already in the UK and you're on either health and care worker visa or a skilled worker visa, select the correct option. If you have a tier 2 visa by your current employer, click the correct option. You might be on a student visa, you might be on any other visa, and if you're applying from outside of the UK, you're going to click I do not have a visa or right to work in the UK, and I cannot undertake employment without sponsorship for a visa before applying for entry clearance. So you cannot undertake employment without the sponsorship for a visa. So my option is of course a British citizen, so we're going to click this option. Choose the correct option. If you're confused, you just read the options again, and look where you fit into. So I'm going to put yes, because for this post you need NMC registration. For other jobs you do not need the NMC registration, so you click no. I have read the privacy notice, click continue. Right, so as you can see, before I can submit the application, it's not going to let me submit the application because I need to complete 4 sections, which are personal details, application questions, references, and equal opportunities form. So let's fill section by section. We're going to start off with personal details. So it's already got my personal information there. So we're going to put the type of job we're looking for and save and next. it's brought up an error because these are the things that must be filled out. One of these must not be blank. Mobile telephone or home telephone. So let's put a mobile telephone. I'm just put 1 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 1. And that should do the trick. Of course, put your actual number in. This is just an example. So save and next. Right. Are you related to a director or have a relationship with a director or an employee of an appointing organization? Please state the relationship. We have no such relationship, so we're going to click save and next. So this is asking, have you got any criminal convictions? So of course we're going to be clicking no. Again, now it's asking us here, do you have any unspent cautions? Are you in investigations for anything? We're going to click no. And it's asking us, do you have any convictions that are not protected? We've got no convictions at all. So as long as you've got no conviction, we click no. Right, so we click no for that section, and that's done. So now we've done that section, we can mark that as complete. So that's done now. So that's section 1 done. Now, section 2 is the most important part of the application. The first section is simple. You can't go wrong. It's easy. You're putting your name, your date of birth, your your personal details in, whether you've got any convictions. No. And then I don't have a relationship with any of the employees in the organization. Click no, and that's done. So it's a very simple section. This section is going to be, we'll read this section. So this section is application questions, or is also known as the supporting information. What you're doing in this, basically, let me tell you in a nutshell. When we're talking from the other side, right? So the guy that's going to be employing the person that's the manager for this department that you're applying for any job you're applying for, they're going to receive a bunch of 100 or 200 applications. They're going to have 1 or 2 days to go through the whole list of applications, and that's going to take them, they're going to spend around 10 minutes on each application. When they're reading the application, what are they going to be looking for? They might have a quick flick through the personal section. The most important thing is going to be the application section, the application questions or the supporting information. That is how you secure an interview. You're showing how your skills and experience are relevant to the post for which you are applying. The hospital or the employer wants to know that all your skills and experience to date mean that you match the requirements for this post. So you need to think about all your previous experience. You need to look at the job description and the skills required for this job, and now write how you meet the requirements. So a lot of people struggle with this section. And if you're watching this video and you've applied to jobs before, most people say to us, they email us saying, I've applied to many jobs and I keep getting rejected. And the reason being is this section is not done properly. So what you need to do is, you can either keep practicing and you're going to have to make 100 or 200 applications and eventually you're going to get better. Or you can employ an NHS expert to write this section for you. So at HealthHireUK.com, we've got people who normally are reading these forms. We've got people who work in recruitment, and they will write your supporting information for you. Not only that, they write your CV along with your supporting information. They'll write you a cover letter. They'll give you a step-by-step guide to finding and applying for jobs. They'll give you a list of NHS interview questions and answers. So guys, you don't have to use our service. However, using our service is going to make your life much easier. The link is in the description. If you just click below, it should be popping up any moment now. So click on that link, use the code NHS50 and you'll get 50% off our price. For that price, we're going to write your CV, we're going to write your supporting information, we're going to give you a list of NHS interview questions and answers. You're going to boost your application above all other candidates. We're going to get started now on the supporting information. So let's start filling this section in. It's asking us first of all for our professional qualifications. So the best thing to do is to start with the most recent qualifications and then move on to the older ones. So up to 11 qualifications can be entered here. Our advice is to start with the highest, so start with a degree if you've got a degree. If you've not, then put your general certificate of education or your A levels and then put a few of the relevant GCSEs in. It's easy to add the qualifications in. So we're just going to put, for example, a Bachelor of Science in Nursing. So we can put BSc Nursing. I can put I studied in Leeds. I'm just putting Leeds as an example. I'll put the University of Leeds. And that's a spelling error. So put University of Leeds. I received a first class honours and we obtained it in 2020. So we can add that in. Now we can add more in as well. I'm not going to add more in because now you guys know how to add your qualifications in. My advice is to start off with the most recent qualifications, the highest level of education you have. Don't put training courses in here. That's not for this section. So start off with your degree. If you don't have a degree, your highest high school qualifications, and put the most relevant qualifications in. You don't need to fill all 11 qualifications in here. This is just for the employer to look that, yeah, this person is qualified enough for this job. So we're going to go on to the next section. You can add more in here and you click add. You can delete this one now. So we've just got the one and we're moving on to the next section. So this is relevant training courses. So this is a nursing position. So something that's relevant, it might be its substance misuse position. So for this, we might put that I'm currently doing a substance misuse course. So this is relevant. You can put the mandatory training you're doing. So if you've done your your basic life support, your manual handling, you don't need to put each thing separately. You can put mandatory training completed. For this one, we're going to put for the course title, I'm going to put mandatory training in as an example. Most people have got mandatory training done already, and I can put healtheducation.com. It could be any company that you've done it with. Duration was, it took me 1 day to complete this course, and the year completed was in 2024. I can add that in. So put your relevant courses. You don't need to put all the courses. If it's relevant to the job that you're applying for, add it in. Start with the most recent or the ones that you're currently doing and move on to the oldest ones. That's that section completed. Fairly simple. Membership of professional body. If you're applying for a healthcare position, a healthcare assistant position, a support position, a nursing assistant position, a radiography assistant position, you don't need professional registration. And in that case, you can put, I do not have the relevant UK professional registration. If you're applying for a radiographer position, if you're applying for a nursing position, if you're applying for medical as a doctor, as a physiotherapist, you need to show that you've got registration. Without registration, you're not going to get the position. So if registration is not required for this post, you put not required for this post. If you've got the registration, we're going to put registration required and applied for. If you've applied for it but you've not got the registration yet, so you might be in the process of applying for the HCPC or the NMC, or you might have part of the NMC, you can put that. If you've got the full registration, we can put that. We then put the registration body. So this position is going to be a NMC position. So we're going to put we're going to find the correct one. So let's put ourselves as a so registered nurse. Let's put ourselves as an adult nurse. We can put any further details there, and you can put a registration number and when it expires. So I'm just going to obviously make up one here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 NMC. And the expiry date I'm going to put as the 2nd of February 2026. Save and next. If you've worked in the NHS before, you can put your details here. If not, we can continue here. Right, now You can put up, now it's asking for your previous jobs. So you start off with your most current or most recent job. You put the name of the employer, you put the address, the type of business, who you were reporting to, the telephone, your job title, and why you've left, and a brief description. So let's put an example. So I might say I was working at the Leeds St. James Hospital. So obviously I'm not going to get the full address on for now, but I can put St. James Hospital just as an example, guys. And the type of business was an NHS hospital. The reporting to was the matron, or we can put sister on the ward. And the telephone of the ward was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Our job title was registered nurse. We started in 2020. And we're currently in the job. So if you're currently doing that job, you don't put an end date. Grade, I was a band 5. See, or we can put a senior, for example, here, or any sort of grade that you're on, or we can put band 5 nurse. You can put something like that there, or senior, or junior. Salary was, we can put, so it's making up a salary here, £27,000 a year. Period of notice, so that's the notice you need to give to your employer before you can leave the job. So we're going to put in there, I don't know, it depends on your contract of employment. Most people have got 2-3 months. We're going to put 2 months. And that's fine. Reason for leaving if applicable. So we're going to put, so you want to put why you're leaving the job. So we want to put, we're looking for further opportunities and to improve ourselves professionally. So we can put for professional, for further development of career. You don't have to put much in that information. You don't have to put anything at all if you don't want to. But if we're going to put something in, we can put further development of career, or you're looking for a new challenge, or the hospital is closing down. So you can put, various reasons in there. Here we're going to put a brief descriptions of your duties and responsibilities. So what you need to do here is not to put too much information in. Keep it brief, but enough that the employer that you're applying to now thinks it is enough. So think about what you do in your day-to-day job. So I'm going to make something up here. So think of what you're doing in your job and what you're responsible for. So I could put, I am responsible, and ensure, guys, that you're doing a spell check on everything you're putting in. So I am responsible for monitoring, observing patients on ward 31, which is an elderly care ward. So we're putting a simple introduction of where I'm currently working and what my main duties and responsibilities my main duties and responsibilities are. My duties include, and just think about what you're doing in your job. So I'm just going to put X, Y, and Z, and my responsibilities. So responsibilities include, and we're just going to think, I've got bad spelling, guys, but we're going to put my responsibilities include 1, 2, and 3. So just put a quick introduction of where you're working, your main duties and responsibilities, and other duties and responsibilities that you have. And then that's done. And you do that for each job. It's not hard, it's not difficult. Save and next. Have we got any gaps in employment? If so, mention the gaps, why you have a gap. We don't have any gaps, so we're going to click save and next. Right, so the supporting information. This is where most people fail. If you're going to listen to anything in this video, listen to this properly. So what we're doing in this section, this is a very important section. So you need to demonstrate that you've read the published person specification and how you meet the essential and desirable criteria for this particular post. So you need to talk about how you meet the criteria for the job. Most people write this section extremely poorly. And that is why when the manager sees your job application, they simply delete it. They're not interested in it. So what you can do is, number one, you can ask HealthHireUK to write the supporting information for you. What we do is we'll ask you the type of job that you're looking for. We'll look at all the essential skills for that type of job. We've got a very advanced software system. We'll scrape through a very high number of jobs. So if you tell us I'm looking for a healthcare assistant post, if you tell us I'm looking for an MRI radiographer job, if you tell us I'm looking for a general elderly care nursing job, we will look through a whole load of job adverts. We'll look at the essential skills. We'll ask you what type of skills have you got, and we'll write a whole section on how you meet the criteria. You can use the documents we write for you for any job. The way we write it, using our experts, you can use it, you can simply copy and paste it for any job that you see. Otherwise, you're going to struggle. If you're planning to write it yourself, that's also fine. It might be more difficult, but it's not for everyone. If you're writing this section yourself, look at what they're telling us to do. So they're telling us that what they're looking for is that you've read the published person specification, which was here, just up here. So you've read all this and you've talked about how you meet the essential and if there's any desirable criteria. So you're going to talk about how you've met the criteria, the reason for applying, and your skills and qualities, what sets you apart from your peers. That's all you need to write, guys. So let's write it down here. So you need to start off with, I'm going to write how you can write it. It's like a template basically. Or you can use, so one is you can use healthhireuk.com. So option one, use healthhireuk.com and let the experts write your information. Option two, do it yourself, which is higher risk of rejection. But if you were to do it yourself, you might be asking, I'm not wanting to purchase a service at the moment. I want to try one myself. What do you need to write? So look at what they've said here. So we need to write how I meet the essential criteria. I need to write how, if there's desirable criteria, so we can put essential and desirable criteria. So you need to talk about what criteria you meet and how you meet it. You then need to talk about why you're applying for the job. So why I am applying. You then need to talk about your skills and qualities. What sets you apart? Put these three things in. Make sure you've got good English and you're going to be good. It doesn't need to go to 1500 words. That's a maximum. Keep it brief, keep it simple. Don't put too much information, don't have too little information. It depends on what your background is and how many words you're going to write. However, once you've done that, you can click Save and Next. So we're going to put yes, is asking us further questions. And I've got the relevant degree and I've got NMC registration. So that's done. So now we can mark that section as complete. I still can't submit my application because section 1 is done, section 2 is done, and I need to do section 3. So references. So this is, they're wanting, different employers will have different requirements. This particular hospital is wanting references for the past 3 years. You need to put work email addresses, and you can add as many referees as required to meet the requirements for the last 3 years. So we're going to put the details of the referees here. This can be a line manager or someone who's senior to you. We're going to put John Smith, Leeds Hospital. The job title was ward doctor. So we can put their title as doctor. How do they know you? They were my line manager. And we're going to put their details in. So most important is to put a work or professional email address. So we're going to put John Smith at nhs.net. Can they be approached prior to interview? If you're working at a place at the moment and you do not want the management to know that you're applying for other jobs, click no. Otherwise, click yes. Then you put the period this covers from. So we're going to put from September 2020. So we don't need to put any further references in this case. And we're going to click save. Okay, so we need to put an address in. So we're going to put St. James Hospital in Leeds, in Swan. Period this reference covers to. So it's not given us a live option, unfortunately. So we're going to put March 2024. That's fine. Let's save that and see if it lets us save it. So if you've got more referees you need to put in, you can add more in. So our advice is to put 2 references at least, and if you need more to cover the last 3 years, add more in. You can only put character references, so these are people you know personally, friends or people you know socially, if you've been out of employment for a certain period. So you might have been, there might have been a period of 1 year where you were in between a job or you were looking for a new job after your qualification. So you can put a personal reference or somewhere you volunteered as a personal reference. Once that's done, we can mark that as complete. This section, last section, is very simple. It's just to monitor what type of people are applying for the job. So we're just going to put the personal details there. So I'm just going to put something there. Indicate your gender, indicate your marital status, indicate your ethnic origin, how you think of yourself, and your belief systems. If you've got any disabilities, you can put them in there. You can save and next. They want to know how you've seen this job, so we can put I saw it on Google, and then we can click next. And then you're making your declaration. The information in this application form is true and complete. So once you've done the whole application, double check it all. Another thing you can do is you can view the application. So what you can do is have a friend read through everything, or maybe print it out yourself, show somebody at work, show your friend, just make sure that you've not made any major errors. You can print it all off or you can download it. So you can take a screenshot of this or you can download the application. It downloads it as a PDF and you can email it to your friend or you can email it to anyone just to check that you've done it right if you want someone to double check it, or you can read it through it yourself. Our advice is to make the whole application, do your whole application, then wait a day. Double check, read through everything, and then now you're declaring. Everything is true and complete. I'm not omitting anything. And if I've lied, I will be dismissed if I'm employed by the organization, and I agree. Now, once you submit the form, your application will be available to the employer. So that's all it is, guys. It's very simple. However, most people keep getting this wrong. They don't know how to navigate this website. They don't know how to write the supporting information. They keep getting rejected. If you want to save time, guys, if you want to make your life easier, our advice is to use HealthHireUK.com. Before we finish the website, so we're just going to click, before we finish this video, we're just going to go over why we think you'll benefit from our services. We click this, and we then submit the application. It's telling us we've not done our equal opportunities, so we can maybe mark this section as complete first, and then we can submit the application. I've checked my answers and we'll submit the application. So that's submitted. Done. So you can monitor it from here. If there's any updates, you should see them here. Otherwise, you'll get an email, but that is absolutely fine. So in terms of why you should use HealthHireUK.com, just gonna briefly give you a quick overview of our services. So our company was set up a few years ago. We're based in the UK. We're run by NHS experts. We work in the recruitment side of the NHS. We've got also a clinical background. So we know everything from how hard it is to find a job and apply for a job to how hard it is to ensure you're going to be successful. We make it easy for you. We use our 10 years of experience to boost your application. That's essentially what we're doing. So if you visit our website, healthhireuk.com, we've got information about us here. So we say that, we've helped countless people secure fulfilling roles. We've also got a list of jobs on our website. We'll show you that section in a moment. So why do people use us? NHS experts, we write your CV and supporting information. We've got over 10 years of experience. We've worked with hundreds of companies. We know the interview questions. We give you a guide for searching for the jobs, for finding the jobs, and our service is extremely quick. We deliver the service within 7 days of payment, and that is a CV, the supporting information, the guide to finding and applying for jobs, step-by-step guides to making your application, and a list of common NHS interview questions and answers. We've got 100% feedback. Our candidates love us. We've put some of the feedback here. We're going to add more feedback on soon. But basically, customers love us because we make your life easier. We're not a recruitment agency. We're helping you apply directly to the jobs. We write all your documentation for you, so that makes your life much easier. You can focus on your job. You can focus on getting the applications in. At the moment, we've got 50% on all packages. A 50% discount on all packages. Use the discount code NHS50. It's going to be ending soon. The package we recommend is a starter package, £140. So with the code, it goes down to £70. We include the CV, the supporting information, the full step-by-step guide, the step-by-step guide to finding and applying for jobs, and the guide to interviews and the interview questions and the answers. All documents are received within 7 days. If you're interested, go to our website, click sign up, and you'll go straight to the payment page. On our website, we also have two cool features. So the first is the articles section. So we've got a lot of useful articles here with tips and advice on interview questions, on how you can get a job in the NHS, on how to guarantee an interview, on how to write the supporting information, on how we can help you secure your dream job. So take your time. It's all free. It's all available on our website. All this information. It's very, very easy. Then if you put here healthhireuk.com/jobs, this goes to our jobs board. So we put the dream jobs on this website every day. If you want this to come to your inbox, click on this button and you can sign up to our free newsletter. But otherwise, you can come back to this page every day. This is a free part of the website. You don't need to pay for this. You can look through hundreds of jobs that will be posted over a year. So we're going to get you the very top jobs. All the jobs have got visa sponsorship available. All have got good salaries and all will be closing in the future. So you can look into these type of jobs, see a job that you like. If you want us to boost your application for that job, click here. Otherwise, if you want to just apply or you've already bought our services, click here and it will go directly onto the page to apply for the job. So we save you time because we've got a lot of very good jobs on our website. All you do is click onto that page here. So guys, I think that's 40 minutes. I think that's a good time for this video. Thanks for watching the video. If you've got any comments or any questions, just comment in the comment section or email us at info@healthhireuk.com. Otherwise, We love making content, guys. We want to make a lot more content. If you've got anything you want us to cover, write that in the comments. We want to keep it interactive here. Otherwise, like, share and subscribe to our channel. Like the video, share this with your friends if you think it's going to be useful for them. And again, thanks for watching another video with healthhireuk.com. Thank you very much.